I dream of a mirror, I see myself with a mask. Or I see in the mirror somebody who is me, but whom I do not recognize as myself. Borges sees life as an illusion and describes reality as a combination of perceptions, emotions, feelings, distractions, dreams, and surprises. My photography practice is about performance, masquerade, and cultural identity. As Prost mentioned, our social personality is a creation of the minds of others. My work will be divided in different sessions. Here is an example of series of self-portraits where I'm exploring my emotions and attempt to transcend myself through images. My images are elements of they have elements of the surrealist movements and photographers and influence of photographers such as Mark Morris Roy and Fred Cray. My concept has changed a little bit now, and I'm looking more inwards and outwards. Portraiture is unique in the diversity of its forms and functions. I'll also be exploring elements of religion and forms of cultural expression that relate to me. Here is a representation of a religious deity from Afro-Brazilian religion called Maria Padilha. She is a symbol of female strength and has a connection to the duality of life and death. The movements and other elements, such as the roses and these movements here, they are connotations that are explained to an audience that is out of this context. Here I'm using different techniques such as slow shutter speed to create blurry effects and a combination as well of different images and different photos to create texture and as a replacement of the face as well to create a mask effect. I'm starting to take some pictures outdoors as well, and here I'm exploring nostalgia. Nature has become more a subject for nostalgia than indignation, and indeed for contemplation, says Sontag. Alongside with that, using nature and the outdoors as a connotation for nostalgia and as a symbol of showing the place where I am at the moment, as an obviously the landscapes here as an example, as a symbol of the national Scottish identity. I intend to use. I decided to start using my family as well, like just after watching the talk by Samra Yessel at the Found Symposium. I really enjoyed her talk, even though my project is about something different, but I realized I could include my family as part of the project because they are related into this cultural identity thing. As Barthes mentions in Camera Lucida, a photograph is more penetrating than likeness, and it can reveal more than we see in real face, a genetic feature, a connection to our ancestors, and also that the lineage reveals identity is stronger, more interesting, and reassuring than legal status. In the beginning, my intention was to photograph different individuals from different backgrounds living in Scotland. Looking back now, I see it was too literal and the people were portrayed in a romantic, idealized way. Now my intent is to represent them according to my experience, not theirs. I have decided that I cannot speak for them, but just for myself and about my experience with them. I will still be photographing other individuals, but using new techniques and different styles, such as this one here. I'm sure I'm going to look in the mirror and see nothing. People are always calling me a mirror, and if a mirror looks into the mirror, what is that to see? Andy Warhol. Mirrors and people mirroring each other, either on the photo as a montage, such as this image, is something that I want to continue experimenting. I want my work to be multifaceted, and as it explores a complex subject. The next stage, it's still about cultural identity and the way we portray ourselves into the world. Jacques Lacan describes the mirror stage as when a toddler first recognizes himself, herself in the mirror, which happens when they are around 18 months. I'm trying this approach as a way to explore a mirror image and that I might of what I might consider an ideal I. We everyday perform in different social interactions and we create an alternative version of ourselves. Nowadays, we constantly reveal our ideal I on social media, and it became a social norm. And this new construction can be influenced by celebrities, for example. The popular self is our construction of the idealized self, and it is fabricated and it's fiction. But I'm going to be exploring photographing myself in different ways and as an experiment to record a way I present myself into the world as a fabricated self. Here in this image is like a more imaginary self than anything. I'm trying to copy what I observe on the internet, how people sometimes represent themselves, and here's an example that I often see. In this case, I think is probably influenced by celebrities and the way they portray themselves to the media. And then on this other, I'm doing like a picture a day, like every day I prepare myself to go out. So I'm trying to get a picture taken just to see how do I expose myself into the world, how do I present myself into the world, how do I fabricate myself. And this is like a different, aesthetically different from obviously the first ones that I've done in the beginning. I'm just as a more straightforward and is a different experiment. So I think I would like to use, at this point I'm experimenting and I'm trying different styles and different approaches. I'm sure in the future I'm going to narrow down this a little bit, but here you go. That's the end. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.